Hi guys, I want to give you a quick run through on the multi-genre research project since we didn't get a chance to go over it in class today. So you'll find the multi-genre research project inside the assignments folder here. So there it is, multi-genre research project. And I'll go ahead and bring up the assignment sheet. It is due November the 15th at midnight. So this is based on Tom Romano's work related to ways to get students to write that is not your traditional research paper. It's literally applicable to every content area and every grade level. So whether you have elementary students or seniors in high school, math students, or English students, the multi-genre research project works across the board. So what it involves is researching a specific person and then writing multiple artifacts to fully describe the research. So typically we ask students to do a research paper sometime during their career, especially in high school. So this takes the place of the research paper. The research process is still the same. They still have to read books, go on the internet, learn about their person. But then the way they explain their person and display their mastery over the research is a little bit different. So I'm just going to go through the steps for you. So you can fast forward through this if this is a little bit boring, or come back to whatever you want to hear. So I'll try to be as quick as possible. So the first thing you'll do, obviously, is choose a person to research. It can be an historic figure, a mathematician, a writer. For those of us in English language arts, obviously, writers sometimes are the most interesting. But it needs to be a real live person. It can't be a fictional person. So then you will read at least one autobiography or biography about the person. So you can get an ebook, you can buy a book on Amazon if you want to go that in depth. You can go online and do some research that way. So once you have your research done, which you can do, as it says there on the internet, you can go to the App State databases, the App State library. You will compose a minimum of 5 writing artifacts that are connected to your research person. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. You do want to choose these artifacts carefully so that you can show all sides of the person, from their private life to their public life, their professional persona, everything about them, not just the books that they wrote or the crazy life they led, but everything. So you will write a bibliography. This should be an APA format. I can't underscore that enough. This is not MLA, but APA format, which is really the preferred format for teacher education. It's a humanities format. And then you'll have a minimum of 4 research sources, including this biography or autobiography book, ebook that you choose. You'll also write a Dear Reader letter at the beginning of the project. So the Dear Reader letter includes the basic important facts about your person: birth, death, marriage, family, who they were professionally, as well as insight into why you chose the artifacts that you did and why you chose the person that you did. So it has a little bit of a personal touch to it. It tells about the person, and it tells about you also as an author. And then at the end of the multi-genre research project, you'll have a self-reflection letter where you'll reflect on the process and what it was like. So here again are the specific things to include: a title page, then the Dear Reader letter, then 5 artifacts, then the bibliography, then the self-reflection letter. And in the self-reflection letter, you'll answer these questions. Make sure you answer all 4 of them. What surprised you? What prior knowledge did you have? How would you use a similar project in your own classroom? And on a scale of 1 to 10, what score would you give your project? So you will create a digital copy. I recommend that you do it as a PDF, save it as a PDF, because pictures save better that way, and then upload it to your student folder. All right, so you are going to choose at least one artifact from each of the following categories. The informational category, you will create either a biography or a news article, a magazine article, an essay, a transcript of an interview, a comparison contrast essay, a police report, an obituary, or an encyclopedia. So you will write one of those. You don't copy those, but you write one that gives us some information. Then you will do a literary or creative writing sample, such as a TV or film script, a play, a short story, a song, a poem, comic strip, editorial cartoon, a monologue, a myth, a fairy tale, a graphic or drawing. These all relate to your chosen person. The third one, a functional genre, the functional genre, a functional artifact. That could be a personal note or a letter, a diary entry, a memo, an email exchange if the person was alive during email, a Facebook page, an advertisement, letter to the editor, a movie review if maybe there is a writer whose work was turned into a movie, and any others that you might think about. So you'll need at least one from each category, but you're going to do a total of 5. So obviously you'll pick a couple from, one of the categories, you'll have more than one. So on the next page is the rubric. You can see that each of the boxes relates to one of the requirements: the subject, the Dear Reader letter, the artifacts, the bibliography, your self-reflection, and then making sure that you met your deadline. So those are the requirements. Let me show you what it looks like. Here's one that a former student did on J.K. Rowling. So here's her title page with a picture of J.K. Rowling. Her Dear Reader letter at the beginning. And then she started with her artifacts. So she decided to do a graphic, a sorting hat word art, an acrostic poem, diary entry. She's got 2, 3, 4 of those there. An interview with the author. A wanted poster of challenged books. A letter made up letter from Bloomsbury Press, which is her the publishing house that publishes her. A newspaper article. So she created her own little newspaper in here. A death certificate for her mother, because her mother was important to her. A themed menu for a J.K. Rowling restaurant. I loved this. I thought it was so good, and it's in pounds. A persuasive poster for a quiz for Pottermore, and then there's her bibliography. So obviously she did more than 5. She actually went crazy and did 10. She really had a lot of fun with this. There's her bibliography of the things that she used in correct APA format. And then at the end, her self-reflection letter. So that's what a multi-genre research project looks like. It's a lot more fun to read and grade than a research paper, and it's also a whole lot more fun to write. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I'm happy to answer them.